Here we are in front of Hufford Stables. Actually, it's Triumph Stables. It's John and Belle Hufford. And I'm with Tami Johnson. She is one of my buds from the Sunshine State. Tami has been involved in Morgan's for a long time and does a great job, but she wears a couple other hats that are very beneficial to the Morgan breed, and I'm going to let her tell you about it.
Well, for probably almost 20, 25 years, I've been Masterworks, which is an exclusively Morgan equine, a little bit of other breeds, but primarily Morgan-based advertising and promotion. And we've done everything from logo design to print ads and promotional videos and things for the breed. But about a dozen years ago, I was listening to one of my good clients, John Hufford, bitch and moan about how much he had to send out videos to prospective salespeople. And he was really tired of making copies of videotapes. And my husband Marvin and I started, it was actually Marvin's brainchild, to create an exclusively Morgan selling website that featured video clips.
What's the name of it?
MorganShowcase.com. And we didn't want it to be filled up with ads. We wanted to focus on the horses, and we wanted enough information on there that hopefully by the time somebody looked over a listing on a horse, they were ready to pick up the phone call and make a serious phone call to inquire.
Well, one of the conversations I've had with Tami is relative to Tami researches the information that the seller sends her to put on the website, and she double checks it for accuracy, with the breeding, the show record, all kinds of things like that. And I think that is due diligence on your part, and it's appreciated because it establishes your reputation as a company of honor and integrity.
Right. Well, I do spend a lot of time on every listing because I verify information that they give me for show winnings. I use the AMHA database to verify everything on there, details. I'll check owners' records. I'll put an owner name in there only if it matches up to the AMHA database. I use Saddle Horse Reports. Show results. It's a great source for me because it lists both USEF and non-rated shows. And a lot of times I know these horses, and if I can fluff up the copy, make it more readable, make it more selling copy, I do that. So, I mean, when you list a horse on Morgan Showcase, you get not just your listing for whatever you plugged in, but you get my editorial, you get Masterworks behind it.
Exactly. Well, Horse Show Wire has a wonderful relationship with Tami and her Masterworks and Morgan Showcase. And so we're certainly pleased to share her information today. And then our friend Caleb is going to show some of the wonderful display artwork that she has done for Triumph Stables, and it's generated good results for them.
Yeah, we've done a lot of campaigns for clients. One of our great clients is Roxanne Sardelli, Sardi Morgan's, who last year bought Minion Millennium, so we've done campaigns for Minion Millennium, in cahoots with John, of course. He always has a big influence on what we do, and we work with him closely to make sure it's all copacetic with him. And we work together as a team, and we have a lot of fun, and it's fun. It's selling Morgans and hopefully bringing new people into the breed and, creating marketable horses. John's job is to create marketable horses. Roxanne's job is to breed good horses for John to market, or Ann Benson, her other trainer, to market. And it's my job to put them out there so that people can find them.
Well, the last project that Tami and I worked on together in Ocala was for our handicap riding program. When you see Morgan horses and people who have physical, emotional, or psychological challenges, and how healing and miraculously beneficial they are to people like that, it certainly is giving back. It's very, very rewarding. And Tami and I did a fundraiser because these things don't come for free. And so I really appreciate all your efforts in that.
Yeah.
And it
Thanks,
really
Conky.
went well.
It did. And Conky was the star of our show, and we made over $5,000 for Marion Therapeutic Riding Association, so that was great.
Okay, on that smiley face, we're going to end.
Yay!
Here we are at Hawkwood Custom Apparel with our proprietor, Linda. Nicely done. And the beautiful Lila Tatar. And look at this coat. That is gorgeous. Oh, my word. Well, we were talking on the rail with some buds when you were riding Bada Bing the other day. And, Linda, what color would you call the jacket she had on Bada Bing? It was amazing.
It was a red silk, a red herringbone silk. It was beautiful.
it looked great in the ring, and you did a really, really good job. And I hope you get this one because it becomes you. And Linda, you really have a way with color because I've asked several other people. I go, oh, where did you get that jacket? The color is fabulous. And they say, well, Linda at Hawkwood.
We try to do things a little bit different, you know.
And it pays off. It looks beautiful. Okay, good luck, everybody.
Thank you.
So I'm here with Sarah Miner, Kay Thompson, Cass Booth, and Caden Cam Miner, and Sarah Gove, and her beautiful little son Gavin. Yesterday, Sarah won on her horse CBMF Street Legal. How'd it feel, Sarah?
Awesome. It was really fun.
Yeah. So I understand you won driving somebody else too. Who was that?
SDMF Design Reflection.
Yeah. So what does it mean? I know this is your first time coming out and showing and winning in both qualifiers. What does it mean to you as an exhibitor and as a third generation horse person?
It's really just completely surreal. I didn't think on Tuesday I would already have done 2 victory passes, so it's awesome.
That's cool. So what do you think, Grandma?
I'm just so proud of them.
Yeah. 'Cause I know you've been involved with horses for how long?
Well, since the 50s, 1950s, and specializing in raising them and the family training them and showing them the high over horses.
Cass, so what do you think?
I'm absolutely delighted to have all these people involved with the Morgans, and it's been a wonderful experience with my mom backing me up and Sarah, who started with us and got going with her driving and riding, and now the boys are interested, and one of my best friends right here beside me. We always hook up with our talents, and it's a great family. It's a great family.
So as a trainer, Sarah, how does it feel?
It's a great roller coaster ride. I mean, we love the boys, and it's been fun. And then Sarah started getting involved, and Sarah's been riding, and we found this little horse last year, and he is just a sport. Really, really fun to work, and even better to show. So we're having a great time with him, and these 3 boys are his biggest fans.
Yeah. So what do you think, guys? What do you think of your mom having 2 wins here at Oklahoma?
Great. I have no idea what to say.
So what's the story on this horse, anyways?
So we found him. Sarah actually found him and said, oh, you got to come try him out. So we did right before she left for Oklahoma last year. And then we put Cade was the first rider on Mason at home. And he's just awesome. He's great for them. He's really good sport. When I get on, he just puffs right up and does whatever I ask him. So he's awesome.
Cool. So 4 generations of horse people right here, and we got the youngest generation getting ready to come back up into the ranks and start showing, and they've already been showing, but really start putting a name for themselves out there in the Morgan world. So it's really exciting to see 4 generations right here on the red carpet, and thank you very much for coming out, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Here we are with a dear, longtime, wonderful friend of mine, Garn Walker, who hails from the left coast. And we only get to see him here at Oklahoma, which is always a treat. And Garn has some wonderful information to share with us that I just learned about yesterday. So we're going to pick his brain. Are you ready to go, Garn Walker?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, there are so many new wonderful disciplines that Morgans are becoming involved in that I was not even into. So I'm going to let Garn explain some of them because he really has a handle on it.
Well, we started the new disciplines coming out have really allowed us to present our Morgan horses to the public. Out on the west, we have the Extreme Trail division that's out there that the Morgans are competing in. We have extreme trail riding. We've gone into the ranch horse showing out there, which is another venue to open up to present the Morgan horses. Western Dressage in the last 2 years has now been approved by USEF to become part of their venues. It's a great way to teach your horses a lot of things. In fact, we have been showing Western Dressage this year, and we were fortunate enough here to be Reserve World High Point and 4th World High Point with our horses. Another young lady that's been to barn, she was a World High Point Western Dressage horse. So there's a lot of venues opening up. The one that probably grabs my heart the most is Cowboy Dressage. And Cowboy Dressage is similar to Western Dressage, but the concept of Cowboy Dressage is more of a lifestyle. It's sort of like how I've lived my life. You know, it's like John Wayne and Roy Rogers and Gene Autry, and you know, the whole lifestyle part is be kind to your horse, be a good sport, be a good competitor, high morality. You know, we don't really have any rules. We just do that. And the concept within Cowboy Dressage is straight lines and circles. Yep. And it's all based upon how to train your horse. So actually in Cowboy Dressage, not only is it a lifestyle and how you live your life, it's how you treat your horse. It's a soft feel. It makes you, it opens your heart up back to where it used to be, friends and companionship with your horse. The harmony within it is great. The response in it in California is huge. Our finals is coming up in 3 weeks, and we have over $10,000 in sponsored prizes from saddles to bits to chinks.
I love that. I love that. And relative to the lifestyle aspect, it sounds to me like it's tailor-made for Morgans. And when you show the Morgans with all the other breeds, what a great marketing and promotional venue for our Morgan horses.
It truly is. I think part of the problem we're having is that, you know, when we go to all these breed shows, we show too much to ourselves, and we don't get the population out here. We had a 3-day Cowboy Dressage horse show. There was 800 open horses at this horse show. We had, I believe it was 180 or 90 rides. We were the largest single entry venue at that horse show. We had the reiners coming down competing. We had the people standing on the rail watching, and we had people there walking through saying how beautiful the Morgans were and what they were doing. So this just opens it up even more and more. We had it at a Saddlebred Morgan show that Peter Fenton managed over in Woodside, and we had the people in the grandstand standing on the rail watching the Morgans. It's just another way to let them see what the Morgan could do.
Well, Melissa was telling me the other day, Melissa is Mrs. Garn, or Melissa will phrase it differently, but we're going to go with Mrs. Garn. She's Genesis's mother. She would have no objection to that, right? No, and he has a beautiful face and a big kind eye, and he's very, very stereotypical Morgan. And she promotes him and takes him around to these all-breed shows, and it's been very, very beneficial, has it not?
Yeah, she's really done well. Not only she competed extremely well in Cowboy Dressage, but preparing for Oklahoma, we had to really concentrate on Western Dressage because the court is different, the tests are different in what they do. So concentrating on that and actually competing against other Morgans plus other open horse and what we do on here. Gene, you know, this is his 3rd discipline as a world titled horse. He's 22 years old. Yep. And he loves it, and so does Melissa. And it's just, it shows you that these Morgans can go, even as maybe he can't be a hunter horse at the high team, he can go here and be a world champion in the dressage, the Western Dressage, because he's a good horse. And that's what Morgans are about. You know?
They love their people, they love their job.
Yep, they truly do.
Well, relative to all these disciplines, and they love their doggies. Yeah, okay. I think the Crayola people have it figured out, don't you? They offer you lots of different colors, but they all live in the same box. So we can participate in all these wonderful disciplines with our Morgans, and we can still be under the community of one umbrella, and that's a beautiful thing. So we're going to go in peace and love, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Have it. Thanks. Bye, guys.
So I'm here with Melinda Hyde of 4 Points Farm.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So where are you guys located?
We're located in Milford, Michigan. We work out of Hidden Dreams Farm, and we run 2 entities there. We're the training farm and the lesson program, and Hidden Dreams Farm runs their own boarding program there.
Cool. So tell me your story. How did you get involved in Morgan's?
I started showing horses back when I was 11 years old. I had friends that showed Morgans, and at that time I was showing a half Arab. And then I went to Findlay College, and they had a lot of stock horses down there. I came home for the summer, said I need to find a job, and I answered an ad in the newspaper, and it was for CJM Farms, which was in Northville, Michigan, who had Morgans. And I started working there with Jeff Weatherly and the Marino family. And then from there, I just began to do my own thing when everything went all the different directions that it does. And I hooked up with my husband 17 years ago, and we started building our business as 4 Points Farm, and here we are today.
Cool. So I understand your husband's a blacksmith. Can you talk to me about that?
Yes, he shoes Morgan saddlebreds. His favorite is shoeing the packaged horses, and it's an art to be able to do that, and that's part of our success. Knowing how, as a trainer, knowing how the horses should be able to travel, and then being able to adjust their shoeing to make the horse fix the little deviations in that, and that's part of our success program, is the fact that he can do both.
That's really cool. So how's this week been so far for you guys?
So far, so good. Our junior exhibitor won the 10 to 13-year-old fitting and showing. We've had a lot of good goes this week. So, yeah, we've been having a great time.
That's cool. So I also hear there's a fun story about something that happened to your farm when people try to dig up somebody's body. Can you talk to me about that?
In 2006, I was heading for a horse show, and a bunch of people showed up wearing suits and started asking the owners barn help for the owners if they were around, and I was kind of wondering, well, what's going on, and started talking to these people, and they said, well, what would it take to get these horses out of this barn? And I said, well, are you constructing? And she says, I am so-and-so from the FBI. And I was like, oh. So needless to say, in 2006, our training barn was dug up looking for Jimmy Hoffa.
Wow. That's a pretty cool story. You should put that in your promotional for your video. The spot where they tried to dig up Jimmy Hoffa. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they found a spot that said that the area that was changed from glacial times, which meant that they dug in that area, and supposedly there was a tree there that was aged at 30 years, and it was probably the safest place to be besides the White House for 2 weeks. It was the most incredible experience, but let me tell you, it took 4 months to have the barn built, and we were sitting in a tent in our outdoor arena.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you for having me.
And good luck the rest of the week, and maybe we'll see you at the red carpet.
All right, thank you.
Brought to you by Hallmark Farms. Hallmark Farms, Oklahoma's home for champions.
So I'm with Kelly Kraegel of Cottonwood Creek. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
So tell me your story. How did you get involved with the Morgans?
Well, I used to show quarter ponies and quarter horses, and then one of the boarders at my parents' facility actually took us to a Morgan farm called Crestmont Farms in California, and we loved the people, we loved the horses, and so when I outgrew my quarter pony, we went back and bought my first Morgan.
That's cool. That's cool. So how did Cottonwood Creek come about?
Well, I've trained horses. I think I got my first paid horse in training when I was 12, and I've been married maybe a couple times, and so I finally decided maybe I should quit naming my ranches by my last name, so I went to Cottonwood Creek Ranch to keep it safe.
There you go. That's awesome. That's awesome. So where are you guys located?
Guthrie, Oklahoma.
So
About 30 minutes north of here.
That's perfect. So I know you guys seem to take up like 30 rows around here. So how many horses do you guys bring to this horse show?
We brought 37 horses.
Oh my gosh. How many horses are on the farm?
Oh, somewhere around 60.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. So, how's this week been so far for you?
Oh, we've had a great week. Mary Chris Rivard won the Western Sea Gold Medal Finals yesterday, which was really exciting. And my little Rachel Roberts, who came up through my lesson program, was Reserve World Champion in the Walk Trot Western Seat Equitation. So it's been great.
That's cool. And the other cool thing about here is how you have such a ridiculous setup. How much time goes into something like this?
Well, it's kind of funny. My dad actually built the ghost town, and it's built in all 4-foot sections. So the ghost town part goes up really fast. They have it up in an hour and a half. It's all the rest of the drapes and the ceilings and the carpets that take so much longer to put up.
Yeah, that's cool. It's really interesting. So good luck the rest of the week, and we hope to see you at the red carpet.
Thank you very much.
Hello, we are at the Sport Horse Arena this afternoon with Suzie Stafford, our international carriage driving champion. She just did an awesome run. We're in the Double Jeopardy competition, right, Suzie?
That's correct.
Okay, and what does that mean exactly?
The Double Jeopardy competition is a cones course that's numbered 1 through 10 on one side and then 10 through 1 on the opposite side. So you have two drivers. The first driver does the course in order, 1 through 10. You stop in the box, switch drivers, and then the second driver does the course backwards. And the fastest time with the least amount of penalties wins.
Well, and then Suzie was generous enough to wear our pro cam on her breastises, right?
Yeah.
And so we're going to get to see that. And then Caleb shot the class from the exterior of the ring.
Turn. All right, you got it. Whoa. Very good. Whoop. Trot. That's a good girl.
Suzie here is with us now, and she is going to provide expert commentary with our pair, which is Joni Kuhn and Jean Brown. And Joni and Jean drove the 4 the other night in the Heritage class, and they were gorgeous. So we're going to turn the camera around and watch the pair go through, and Susie's going to walk us through it. Suzie, you cruised through this course at breakneck speed and left all the balls standing. So quickly, what is the, what are the protocols in this class relative to how it's scored and how to get an excellent score?
Well, the key is speed for sure, but you have to drive the course accurately to not add time to your score. So really keeping all the balls up should be your number one concern, with speed being your second.
How much time is added for each ball down?
It's 5 seconds per ball. So it really adds up quickly when you start hitting balls. Yep. So it makes a little more sense if you took a little extra time in the cautious parts of the course to not hit any balls.
Now, you said something earlier about when we get to changing the drivers. Now, when we change drivers, we just hand the lines over to the person sitting up in the, on the seat, on the box, and then when we go to the second part of the class, correct?
Correct. You see this yellow box over here to your right. What you have to do is the horse and the turnout has to be in the box entirely halted before you can switch your reins. Once the reins are switched, the turnout will turn around and your time will start when you hit the second set of yellow cones. So to get an advantage when you're switching your reins in the box, it makes the most sense to try to build up your trot before the horse's nose hits the cones, and that's going to give you a few more seconds, which I didn't see many people doing today.
Well, you certainly did. You were just smoking, girl. And your lines were so smooth and wonderful, and you were so efficient with the area that you used and totally on target when you went through the cones. Is it just practice that makes that happen in here? We'll watch them here in the box. No, she's still going. I'm sorry.
Yep, she'll be coming to the box soon. It is practice, and it's getting your eye in. We call it, getting your eye in, practicing cones, practicing lines to cones, so you understand where your horse and your carriage needs to be to not hit the balls at this distance.
Okay, here we are in the box. We're going to watch them.
Okay, so she stopped in the box. They switched the rein. Now, if he wanted to get a little advantage, he would go outside of the box to his left, swing around to the right, and start trotting as he came back around instead of turning, waiting. Okay, he's doing, except I would have turned the other way, but see how he's already trotting?
Yep.
Yeah. So he did it. He did kind of pick up his speed before that time started, so that was pretty good, actually.
Well, I have the luxury of seeing some really good carriage driving events in Florida over the winter, and it looks to me like the Morgans are particularly well suited to this discipline, and you do very well with your Morgan on an international basis. Tell me about why Morgans really excel in this competition.
Personally, my preference is a Morgan for the CDEs. And of course that is a matter of opinion, but I like them because they're extremely handy. They're very powerful for their size compared to the warm bloods. The warm bloods are a larger breed, and they take up a lot of room in the obstacles. So I feel like the Morgans have just as much power and speed as the larger horses, but they're a little easier to maneuver, almost like a little sports car.
Well, and the thing that always entertains me about the Morgans, particularly in a cones course, is they are looking like, Ma, where do I go next? Where do I go next? And sometimes it's a disadvantage because the cones that they are seeing in front of them is not the gate that they need to execute next, because it would be out of order. So how do you keep them from overly anticipating the next set of cones?
Well, they are a very alert breed. They're very intelligent, so they're easy to train. So the hard part is you want to train yourself as much as possible, but you cannot overtrain the horses because they start to guess what's next, and sometimes it's, their decision is not the decision you would have made. So
exactly.
But that is something I really like about the breed.
Well, that was a beautiful smooth go by that pair, didn't you think?
Yeah, and I don't think they did hit one ball, but they should have a pretty good time. He used his space well. And both drivers, I think, drove to complement each other. There wasn't one weak driver in the pair. So
now, how did you girls turn out? Do you know what your score is relative to the group that you were competing in?
I'm not sure. I was in the lead after a few, but I think I lost that lead. So which is fine. It was really fun, and I grabbed that girl. Sarah Cahill was my other driver, and she's never driven a carriage horse before. So
Well.
I gave her a quick lesson outside, and she did fabulous. She was great.
Okay, everybody out in TV land, computer land, internet land, did you hear that? Suzie said she had never driven a carriage horse before and came in here with a world champion and put up a great show. So you don't have to be a long-time exhibitor of driving horses to be able to have fun in this competition. And Suzie, I'm thrilled that you said that.
Yep, it was really fun, and it was funny. Sarah rides a classic pleasure horse, and she's like, I'm more relaxed doing this because I feel no pressure. And I said, now wait a minute, I don't want to lose either. So it was great. We both had a great time.
Well, your horse had a smile on his face, and you two gals were smiling when you got done. It couldn't have been more fun for all of us as well. And you're very, very generous to wear the camera for us, and now also to provide your expertise with this pair competition. Thank you, Suzie.
Oh, you're welcome. No problem.